May 2015, Jane and I went to southern France. Stayed about a week in Aix. Then we went west to Sarlat. And there we went to a little town, Terrasson, for Julian's wedding. After that, we drove back to Cassis, or to Cassis, spent a couple days there. This is my little vehicle. Not very comfortable, but it did the job. My GPS didn't get us lost. Almost destroyed the car driving over one of these road obstructing things, which I didn't recognize at the time. All sorts of highways, from autostradas, single lane roads, and single lane bridges. The whole variety. Aix is a great town. A lot of it is walled off to cars, so you can stroll around. This is Cours Mirabeau, the main boulevard in the town, where there's cafes on one side, shops on the other. Plenty of places to stop and get a little drink with an outdoor cafe. We took a market tour one day where we had a guide, showed us a market. I fell in love with these macaroons. On the tour, the guide did pick up samples of different things along the way, and at the end of the tour, we went back to an apartment where we all sat down and tried out the goods. Cezanne did a lot of work in Aix, and there's Mount St. Victory, which was one of his favorite subjects, and we took a walk up to his workshop, which was quite a walk up the hill. Châteauneuf du Pape is near Aix. We visited there, and there's an Ogier winery. Ogier is Jane's mom's maiden name and Terry and Andrew's middle name. Had a little tour of the winery and bought some goods to bring home. Good trip. Also did other day trips. Here's to Vaison-la-Romaine, where they have these tremendous Roman artifacts, including this amphitheater here. There are also other Roman ruins, which we took a little train ride around the town and got to see many things. In Saint-Remy, we started looking for Van Gogh's paintings, and we actually went out to this asylum where he spent a year, one of his last years of his life, where he did it. This is his room where he stayed, and the next picture is a window he used to look out of his room. But during his year there, he did 100 paintings and over 150 drawings. I'm out in the garden where he used to go and do many of his drawings at that time. Very interesting, fascinating place. We also went to this little town, Les Baux, which is an ancient hill town. One day Jane went to the market, and I went out to see Pont de Garde, which is a viaduct that the Romans built over 2,000 years ago, stretching across this valley. It used to provide water to Nîmes, and it was just fascinating. They have a bridge part that you can now walk across it. One night we went to an outdoor concert in Aix. It had to do about the French Revolution. From Aix, it's about a 7 or 8 autostrada drive to Sarlat. Sarlat's an ancient town in the Dordogne Valley. Beautiful little town. Here's our hotel. Most of the town is marked off where there's no traffic, so you can just stroll around the town. They had market day the day after we got there. They actually had 3 different market days when we were there. Here's my bee lady. She has over 200 beehives. They lost a lot of them, just like Robbie and I lost a bunch this year. One day it was a market day for animals. Plenty of places to sit down outside and get something to eat. We signed up for a day tour and visited 3 towns along the Dordogne River. This is a video from Dome, one of the towns. The towns have many small streets that you can roam around, different shops on the streets, beautiful architecture, and we had great weather. I won't try to pronounce this town's name, but While we were there, we took a boat trip down the river. There were plenty of folks canoeing and kayaking along the Dordogne River. And here was a school group that passed us by, or I should say we passed them by. These towns, the houses build right into the cliffs. As a matter of fact, the cliffs become part of them. Oh, this is a relatively new house, and you can rent it out by the week. A little chateau that we visited. Started to rain right after we were there. At the chateau, they had this little house next door where we had lunch. We did go and look at Rocamadour, but you can see by all the traffic there, we didn't try to get into the town. Stop was Lascaux, where they have 17,000-year-old cave drawings. Can't go into the original place, but the exhibit they have is made up to the exact centimeter in size of the original. You can see how exquisite these paintings are. They were found by 4 teenage boys in 1940. This is along the river where they've had settlements there for the last 30,000 years. That was pretty amazing. Well, now we're on to the wedding. This was a great experience. We had a little miscommunication. We got to the church late. Francois was checking to make sure we're there. This is the group as they came out. You can see they don't have bridesmaids. They have little kids. The little children are all dressed up in the same outfits. That's what they have instead of bridesmaids and best men. Francois and Annie. And this is the wedding party. They were having pictures taken while we were having cocktails before the reception. Reception was in a big tent, a lot of people there. And look what happened when the couple arrived. The celebration got into full swing. There were speeches. There were a lot of skits by their friends. The dancing didn't begin until 1:30 in the morning. It lasted till 4:30 in the morning. Everyone had a great time. Good time by all. Actually, Jane and I left about 1:40. So the next day they had a brunch. Here's Laurence and Olivier. And after the brunch, Jane and I went to another small town nearby with an old abbey. Then the next morning we got up and did a 7-hour drive to Cassis, beautiful resort town on the Med. There's a view from our hotel room. We did a boat tour to the Calanques, which are like tiny fjords just a little west of Cassis. The next day we met up with Francois and Annie. Here you have Francois telling this 90-year-old lady she's as pretty as her flowers that she was putting out. We went out to dinner that night, had a fantastic meal. The 2 weeks were great. We met a lot of old friends, did a lot of fascinating things, and saw many, many interesting places. Great way to spend 2 weeks in May.